Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Success, your partner in success. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be addressing a major topic, a major issue for us internationally trained nurses. So if this is your first time on this channel, please do well to subscribe so you can always be notified whenever I have a new content. And then please do well to just like this video because it will help YouTube to show this video to more people. And another thing I want to clarify is if you subscribe, they don't take money. Okay. I used to think that way too. No shame, no shade. But if you just click that subscribe button, it just makes you stay up to date with my content and it also makes YouTube push the video to more people. That's all you can do for me. I've talked too much. Anyway, just as the topic said, today's video is going to be explaining to you how to best choose a state board of nursing for your United States nursing process. First of all, the first point I want to establish is that United States of America, just as the name sounds, is several states united as one. Okay, most of the rules, the taxes, the laws are not really federal. Most of them vary from state to state, even to salary. Okay. So anything you want to do is going to be done according to the rules and regulation and requirements of a particular state. That's why in any video you're going to see, the first thing they will tell you when starting your United States process is select a state. Okay? Select a state. That's the most important thing. Where I have a problem with is people find it difficult selecting a state because they just pick the state that they want to live in. But the truth is, every state have different requirements, and some of them you might meet, some of them you may not meet. You don't want to pay the application fee and already pay CGFNS or ARES to verify your credentials and send to a state that some of their requirements you might end up not meeting. So don't just apply to a state blindly because you're going to live in that state. Always check the requirements of the state before applying. Okay, that's one point I want to bring up because I've been getting a lot of question about this state. Why do we recommend Texas? Why do we say New Mexico? Why do we say New York? Why do we say Illinois? We say these four states because they have the least rigorous process. Feel free to apply to any other state you want, but when you get to a point, they're going to ask you for some things you cannot provide. And I bet you everything you've done from the beginning is a waste. You have to go back to another state and start again. So don't make mistake with selecting a state. Another question I usually get is, do I have to live in the state that I selected? Now I'm going to talk about two sets of people. For people who are already in this country, some people came to the United States who are nurses in their country, but they probably got married to a US citizen, or somehow they came here for visiting, they came here for school. They're not coming through the work visa route, they're like coming through any other route apart from work visa, which is how I came into this country. For these people, you're coming in with a visa, right? That is not a work visa. So you don't have to apply to the State Board of Nursing in the state you're living. Feel free to apply to any state of your choice where you know it to be easier for you because one, you already have your social security number. So some of the states that might require social security numbers, you can be able to give them that. So that's not hindering you again. Number two, when you do the whole processing with that State Board of Nursing and you write your NCLEX, you can always do something we call license by endorsement to the state you're living because you're a resident of the United States of America. It's easy for you to do license by endorsement to the state you're living. So you don't have to apply to that state because you're living there. For example, myself, I live in Arizona. I don't have to apply to Arizona State Board of Nursing because I'm living here. Because I actually thought, since I'm coming to live here, that's why I applied to Arizona State Board of Nursing. I didn't check all their requirements. That was a mistake I made. If I did, I would not apply to Arizona State Board of Nursing, because now I have to undergo a nursing refresher course, which is taking me 6 months, time, and money to do this course before I can practice. I finished my NCLEX since last year, but up till now, I'm still not able to practice because I have to finish the refresher course. The course is for people who have been out of school for over 2 years, which I fall under. So these are some of the requirements I'm talking about. It's not a bad thing. To some people, they want this, and I'm seeing the positive side of it, which is going to help me, right? It's not a bad thing. But if you everyone have different goals in life. If you want it really fast, like you want to get your stuff together, you want to get working, you want to do it fast, then if you see this requirement, I don't believe that you would, want to still go ahead and reply when you know that even after writing your NCLEX, you have to wait till January or August of any year to apply to a school and do a refresher course. It should be voluntary, it shouldn't be compulsory, right? So these are some of the extreme requirements I'm talking about from different states boards of nursing. Like I said, if you're living in a particular state, like since I was coming to live in Arizona, I could have registered with Texas Board of Nursing, New York Board of Nursing, wrote my NCLEX. When I write my NCLEX, that state board of nursing gives me their license because, again, United States is state by state. The nursing license you get is also state by state. So when that state board of nursing gives me their license, I'm able to use that license and endorse it to the state I live, to Arizona. I don't have to write another NCLEX exam again. One NCLEX for the lifetime. Okay. I don't, as long as my license is still active. All I need to do is to endorse, and to endorse is just to fill a couple of forms and pay an amount of money, and then you get the license for the state you're working in. So that's for people that have a visa who are already in this country. Another point I want to make is that, as much as I said, every state has their individual boards of nursing and rules governing them, every state also gives license individually. But there is something called compact state license. This is actually new, but it's been in existence for a number of years now. A couple of years ago, you only have one license for one state. If you're moving with your family to another state, you have to apply and get their license, but still one NCLEX. You just need to keep endorsing. But right now, you can have one license called a compact state license that can make you practice in about 37 states out of the 50 states in America. But even having that compact license, you're not applying to the federal government of America, you're applying to the state with which you got your license. For example, when I'm done with my course, Arizona State will give me a compact license. Now, back to what I was talking about. Now, for the second set of people I was talking about, which is those people that are coming in on a visa, they're also asking the question, do I have to work in the state that I'm getting my license? Again, this requirement is state by state. Now, for some states, when you get the license of that state and you're trying to endorse that license to another license, another state license, probably if you apply to a state board of nursing because it's easy, their process is easy, but you don't want to live there at all. You want to move to another state and you're not even in the country. The truth is, if you apply to that state board of nursing for them to endorse it to another state, let me use example. For example, you had your license in Texas and you're in your country and you don't want to live in Texas at all. You want to endorse it to California because you heard California nurses make a lot of money and you're not in the United States at all. Some board of nursing will tell you you have to be a resident before you can endorse your license. As I'm the time I'm making this video, I do not know if Texas is one of those boards of nursing that will tell you that, because some of this information are not usually on their website. Sometimes you have to call them to ask your questions, right? So some boards of nursing will tell you have to be a resident before you can endorse. And what does it take to be a resident? One, you have to have a driver's license or an ID card in that state and a permanent address. When it's a permanent address, doesn't mean you have to buy a house. You just have to have a house that is on your name, in your name, or even if it's not in your name, a relative house, just somewhere that you identify as your home. That's a permanent address, and it's with that address you're going to use to make your driver's license, your ID card, or anything. So that's what qualifies you in some states as a resident. So for people who are coming into the country, who are still in their country and making selections of states that they are coming to from the comfort of their beds, some not boards of nursing will not grant you that license by endorsement. So, what I would advise you put at the back of your mind is any state you're applying to come in from outside the United States, any state you get your license, be prepared to work in that state, even if it's just for a year. Because again, most state boards of nursing will not grant you license by endorsement from outside the country. Most states of boards of nursing want you to be a resident before you can apply to endorse your license. That's one point. Two, some people might ask, I have a Texas Board of Nursing license. Can I get a job in California again? Some hospitals in pandemic did not care what state license you had. They were giving jobs because they needed a lot of nurses. But right now, I cannot say for sure. It depends on the hospital, it depends on the state, it depends on the agency you're working with. Another question I was also getting is, can I apply for compact state license when I'm not in the country? Like the person is outside the country and is also trying to get the NCLEX thing done, and the person is asking if you can get compact state license. Again, is the same answer. It depends on the state of your primary nursing license. If the state you apply for a nursing license has a criteria of you being a resident first, then meaning you have to come in first. And how do you come in first? Is by getting a job. And where can you get a job? You can only get a job in the state license that you have. So, if there's any other way or if there's any other thing I hear, I'll definitely come to update it. But as at this point, this is how it is. You apply for New Mexico Board of Nursing license, you get the license, you're going to get a job in New Mexico. You can't get a job in California. Even if you have New Mexico Board of Nursing license and you want to endorse, they have their own criteria. Some of them might say, oh, it doesn't matter, as long as you have our license, you can always endorse. So I'm not speaking generally. The best thing is to find a way to buy a line that you can call the United States with. So you can call the Board of Nursing and ask your question. And then if there's any other question that is not too specific, you can always ask it in the comment section. I'm always here to answer. Feel free to reach out. I want to help. That's why I'm here. Now, the four state Board of Nursing that most of us who have gone through this process always recommend, you get why. Some people get scared of applying for Texas because of the nursing jurisprudence exam. That exam is not hard according to people that have written it. I've not heard of anyone that failed it so far. And you can sit down in your house and write it. There's current affairs for you to read. So let that not be a hindering factor. Plus, Texas application is very cheap. It's like $100 compared to other states. My state I paid 200. California State Board of Nursing is $750 for application. So, so number two, one reason we pick New Mexico, one, they are really fast. Although their application is just open for 6 months, that's tell that they are going to make sure that they respond to you as fast as possible because they know that it's open for only 6 months. Meaning you have to take the NCLEX within 6 months from when you open the application. After 6 months, the application expires. Even if you write the NCLEX on a expired application, what they're just going to do is make you buy it again, pay again to reopen the application, and probably do your fingerprinting again and some other things you submitted. But that's actually stress you can avoid. So once you know you're starting in New Mexico, know that your CGFNS or RS have almost finished evaluating your credentials or Joseph Stilney and they're sending it straight to them. So you have a 6 month gap from when you open the application to when you're supposed to take the NCLEX. Two, they don't also request for social security number. And yeah, that's one of the major. They don't have any extra bulky requirements of nursing refresher of and another exam or anything else. All you need to do for them is just your credential evaluation, your fingerprints, which is background check, and your NCLEX. They will give you license. Illinois as well, they don't require social security number. They are also fast and they are straightforward. No extra baggage they're going to bring out later. New York, people use them, one, because an immigrant friendly state, two, because they all their processes is done on the state board of nursing. You don't need an external evaluator. They evaluate your credentials by themselves. They do everything by themselves. Your P pay to them, everything goes smoothly. They don't have any other requirement apart from your evaluated credentials, background check, and your NCLEX. It's so straightforward. If you eyes a single and you just follow one state board of nursing and do all that they ask you to do, it's pretty much straightforward, to be honest. Okay, so what I'm just trying to say is whatever state board of nursing you've chosen, just make up your mind that that you're going to work there. Okay, here's what I would do if I were you. If in my country I'm dreaming about, I've been seeing how California nurses are making so much money because that's what everyone is talking about now. I want to come to California. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go on California website and type California Board of Nursing foreign registered nurse requirements. When I open that page, navigate the website, and I'm able to see where they will ask tell.
Hey guys, so at this point, I noticed that my mic stopped working, and I found this out while I was editing this video. Anyway, I think what I was trying to say here is I was just trying to give practical steps of what I would have done if I were in your shoes. So basically, everything I was saying boils down to making your own personal research because everyone have different background, different stories, different desire. If there's any specific question you have, the best thing will always be to call the board of nursing after checking their website. You have to have an idea of what you're calling them for. You don't just call randomly and just ask unspecified questions. So check their website. If your question is not found on the website or on the frequently asked questions, then you call in reference to what you've read. That makes them respond to you better. Yeah, that's everything I was trying to say. Forgive my voice as well. I'm highly congested if you can't hear me properly. But until next time, I'll see you in my next video. And if you have any question, I'll be in the comment section to answer. Thank you for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. This is not a rhyme. Trust me, it's not a rhyme. It's just our way of reminding you guys because most of the people that watch this video are not subscribed. Please subscribe. All right, until next time, have a lovely day. Bye.